Everyone, and welcome to today's lecture. So today we're going to be talking about design thinking for small businesses. All right, that's going to be our topic. So I'm just going to put out this question first. So from the topic, from the name design thinking, what do you think design thinking is all about? Okay, anybody want to try? Good morning. Is anybody in this class?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I can hear you,
From
ma.
Okay, do you have any idea, or is this your first time of hearing the term design thinking?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. At least we have a base that we're working with. Does anybody want to answer something? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'll just share my slides. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, so today's topic is design thinking. So there is a lot of what's the word? Should I say there is not about so much knowledge about it because the term initially was coined for engineering, right? But for design actually. But after a while, they actually realized that design thinking is not something that is just related to design. It's something that goes everywhere. So whether for companies, corporate organizations, small businesses, in fact, the term design in production, design thinking is something that when you apply it, let me just put it that way, apply it into what you're doing, you achieve success and you, in fact, let's say it helps you mitigate risk. So as we go along, we're going to display instances and you actually understand more on what I mean. Okay, so the definition, design thinking is a process for solving problems by prioritizing the customer's needs above all else. It is an approach used for practical and creative problem solving. So let me just ask this question. How many of you actually started your business, like you did a research for your current business you have before you started it? Or did you just start your business because, okay, you just had this idea to start this business and you did it, or you just thought, okay, this business is going to make money, so you went into it? How many people actually did any form of research before they started their business? Why did you go into your business? Did you just start it because you thought you're going to make money, or you actually researched that you had customers for your business? Business owners, how many people research? Yes, no, I did a research. It's okay, just unmute
Hello.
and give
Good
response.
morning.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Good
I can
morning.
hear you.
Actually, when I wanted to start my business, I did a research on it before going to it.
Okay.
It's a fashion accessory, so I need to do the research on it and know people really love buying the soft, the age rate of it. So I need to do the research and the environment, whether it's physical that is more selling or online. I need to do the research on it also. So that's all.
Okay, that's good. Who else did the research for their business before they started it? Okay. Nkechi, you can share with
I
us.
did. I did. Okay.
Okay, so what kind of research did you do? Did you research if you had customers in your particular area about the products, how it would sell?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorcas Obiang. I run a social tech startup called Run Spaddy. So at Run Spaddy, we enable access to essential goods and services for individuals and businesses. So what we basically do is we help people access goods through errand running services, logistics, and e-commerce, right? So when we started, before we started, we actually did a research. We brought out survey forms sent to our target audience that we had initially mapped out, that these are the kind of people, busy professionals, families. So we sent out research survey forms to them, and then they filled and shared with us some of their challenges that they had. You know, then after that, we also engaged in a pilot phase. We started with like started testing out our markets with our solution with a small set of persons, with small set of people who had responded. And so that's how we were able to tweak and come up with a current solution.
Okay, that's very nice. So, do you know the name of what you did? Do you know what it's called?
Oh, well, I would say I wouldn't know if it's design thinking, but then I would say what we did was research and pilot
Yeah,
pilot
so
pilot phase.
so basically that is design thinking in a certain form. That's what you actually did. And it's something I would advise any business owner to do because it will save you a lot. And like you said, you just gave a real life example of how it works. So let's just go. So design thinking is user centric, which means it focuses on humans and then comes up with a solution to fix those needs. So design thinking is a solution-based approach to problem solving, right? Which is different from problem-based approach, which focuses on why the problem is there to begin with and how to prevent the future. So in problem solving, there are two ways to solve problems. One, you either do it through problem problem-based approach, right? Or you go through the solution-based approach. Now, most people tend to like go through the problem-based approach, but me, I rather not. Why? Because it's a very limited way to solve a problem, in the sense that it's just like there are certain things that it's limited, that you can only solve certain problems from that approach. Problems that are fixed, that you know this is the problem, that's how you can solve it. So for problems that are progressive, that you know when you fix this stage, next thing it will develop another problem. You fix that one, it develops another problem. You cannot solve that kind of problem using a problem-based approach because it's a complex problem. It's not a simple problem. So it keeps generating as it goes further. In that way, you go with the solution-based, which is what design thinking actually is. So it doesn't do it can even say it does preventive and curative at the same time. Actually, if you look at it, it does both. So design thinking is broken down into 5 phases, right? The first one is, which is define, ideate, prototype, test, and then, okay, you start with emphasize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Now, just because it's written like this is why I use this circular pattern, right, instead of the straight line. Because with design thinking, it is not defined, like the stages intertwine. It intertwines. You always have to go back to resolve a problem. So we'll see that on the next slide. So emphasize. So this is where you research your users, their wants, needs, and objectives. Please, if you're not speaking, mute your mic. Okay. Yes. So this is like I said, this is where you research your users, their wants, their needs, and their objectives. Here you get an empathetic view of the problem you're trying to solve. Because design thinking is one-centric, empathy lets you set aside your assumptions and gather real insights about your user. To explain this in simple context, I will use something. So it's like this: you're a business owner, right? Or you create, let me look for a particular business use as an example. Okay, so you own a business, right? You want to sell books, right? Or let me just say you want to you own you want to sell, you have a restaurant, you want to sell food. Now, with design thinking, without design thinking, you can just say, okay, I want to open a restaurant and this is what I want to sell. That is your idea without research, right? But if you actually just pick a location and then you understand that, okay, this location I picked, this is what the people here are. You ask a few of them. If you're picking a corporate environment, like a places where there are offices, and then you stop and you engage two, three workers, employees, people that work in that complex, and you like ask them, okay, what type of food would they like to eat for lunch? Like, or if you're coming in the morning, are you a breakfast person, a lunch person? What type of food would you like to eat while you are working at the office, right? Without just assuming. What that will do for you is that you can find out at the end of the day that most of the staff there, they don't like swallow, like they don't eat swallow. Not like they don't like swallow, but if they eat swallow at the office, they'll feel sleepy, they'll feel heavy. So in that case, you now say, okay, that's why these people prefer rice, they prefer spaghetti, they prefer lighter food, right? So what that would do for you is that instead of coming, yes, you like to sell, you want to sell swallow, but at this point, the location you have picked, the people there will not take swallow because it is going to affect them negatively, and they will not be able to give good output at their office, at their work, their workspace. So now you're now empathizing with them, and you now understand that, okay, in as much as I want to do this business, if these people do not buy, it's just, I can't even call it a business, because how is it a business if you're not gaining, you're not making money from it? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So you're not empathizing from their own point of view that they can't eat swallow because it will make them sleepy at work. They have to work 9 to 5. So now you have actually understood that this is why you cannot do this certain thing. So now that will now help you to say, okay, lighter food. So let's go to the part of what lighter foods can I bring in? What varieties can I bring in? Now you have turned on a thinking cap. You've just saved yourself. Imagine you literally went and opened that restaurant, and the first day you prepared more swallow, and then people come in, they only bought, you created, maybe you made rice for just 10 people, that will serve 10 people, and then you made swallow that will serve 50 people, and then people come in, nobody buys that swallow. You end up losing money, right? You take that because you don't understand what they want, because you never reached out to them. So you empathizing with them is you understanding what they need from their own approach, regardless of what you intend to do, right? So what you now do is use that knowledge into your business and define what your business looks like, which leads us to the next stage. Sorry, need my screen. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. So yes. So now here you define the problem in a human-centric way. You will define the core problems you identified from the previous phase, which is exactly what we just explained. In fact, from the first stage, we already explained the second phase. They said they want swallow. Why do they don't want swallow? Why don't they want swallow? Because it makes them sleepy. So now you've actually tested, you now understand the problem is they cannot have swallow for this reason. So now you have a defined problem. You've understood that first of all, they have to work 9 to 5. That is a problem. They are stuck in that office. They cannot go out to get food. So food has to be delivered to them. And if the food is not delivered to them, the portion where they have to eat, like the distance from their office to where they have to eat, there has to be a close proximity because they don't have more than 1 hour to spend outside of the office to eat. So from just that context, you've understood 5 things. So first of all, you now know that you define the problem. They cannot leave the office. When they even leave the office, they don't have more than 1 hour to spend. Then when they come to you, they cannot eat certain types of food. And then you have to like define, okay, now you know these are the problems. So you now have to think, how do I solve this problem? You just went out with one thing, you want to start a business, you want to start a restaurant business. But from just doing this, you've already seen things that would help you move this business without even having to do trial and error and starting and failing and learning from it, right? So now you've defined the problem, which will now lead you to the next stage, ideas. So this is the stage where you create a solution. You are armed with the knowledge of the customer's needs and wants and a clear and precise problem. So you and your team can begin to come up with ideas and possible solutions to the problem. So now we've gotten to this stage. The problem is, okay, these guys they are stuck in the office. What if we create a solution where, or even if we're not so far from them, we have staffs from here that they can call from their office and somebody order what they want and somebody will take it from here to them at the different buildings. Then there is the solution of, you now know that, okay, you don't have to bring in delivery guys, right? You might just have some of your staff because it's a close proximity from your restaurant to their office. So you don't need to send delivery people. You just need to have a few staffs on standby that can go and deliver the food to them and then come back to the office. That is one thing. Then you bring the second solution. Oh, the ones that want to come down from the office to eat. They don't have more than 1 hour. How are you going to do it that when they come down, even if your store is full, they don't have to wait on a long queue? So then you create a solution. If they call us before they come down, we can start preparing their order. So when they come down, they don't have to join the queue. There is a place where they can just go to and they'll be attended to, right? So you're now creating a problem. There is a stand in people coming to eat, right? But then there's also a solution whereby if someone orders and then the person can order on time, pre-order and then come down and then someone attends to them. And then you can also bring up the option of creating a space in your restaurant where those that pre-order can actually come. People call that VIP sections, right? So you can think of creating a VIP section in your place so that regardless of when others have filled the place, when these people come down, they can still have somewhere to eat and then leave. And then you have to think about your payment method. How fast is your payment method? Because these people need to pay. Do you want to create an option of where they can actually subscribe, pay a certain amount for a month? So when they come, they just eat. Someone takes the check and deducts the money from their subscription for that month. Do you want to create that? Or you want to create something like a wallet? Or you want to make sure that your payment solution is very fast? If you want to have somebody to be on standby to attend to those sets of people so they don't have to waste time, they can pay. Because I've gone to get something for the office as a restaurant and I had to wait. waited for an hour. Imagine somebody that doesn't have the time to wait that long. How would the person, like, you have to leave, you have to get back to the office. And if you cannot, that day I had to, I had to take time off to go. I knew I was going to waste my time. But in a situation where that time is not there, I could easily leave that place and go to another place that can attend to me. Or at the end of the day, not even solve the problem and then just go back to the office to complete my work because I don't have time, right? So then again, you now lead you to the next one. What is the other problem? What kind of food do they eat? Even if we have people coming in that want to eat swallow, how many people want swallow? So what are the light food that we can actually provide? What are the options, the varieties that we can actually put out that they can eat? So it's not like every time they come, they eat jollof rice, they eat fried rice, they eat spaghetti. How can you make this more appetizing? What other things can you put on the menu? What other foods can you try on the menu that these people can actually enjoy? So this is the place where you do that. You and your team, you come down, you bring out different ideas, and then you narrow it down to the few that you can use. Are you guys actually following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So when you've narrowed down everything, that will now lead you to the prototype. So this is where you turn your ideas into potential solution through experimentation. The prototype stage is a scaled down version of a product which incorporates the possible solutions identified. Just like the first person that spoke, when she said they did research and then they knew what to do. I don't know, are you still on the call? The lady that gave us the example of their research, what they actually did.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is the stage where you can, for those that produce, just like I said, so you now know that, okay, these people don't eat this type of food. So this is the type of food that we want to cook. So you put out, right? So if you're going to put out, maybe you want to put 10 things on the menu, instead of cooking for at least 50 people, you cook in smaller portions and you see how people respond to the food. You collect feedback from them because it's very, very important. You know if they like this one. If you even so now you might create, yes, you have to create, you can create an online form and put a scan code where people can scan and then just reply you via Google form, right? Or you can just create like put a paper, a sheet that the questions are already typed out. You can have on each of your table have a pen and a pad and a pen attached to a form. So as they're just eating, they can just fill it for you. At the end of the day, you compile it. So at this prototype stage, instead of you cooking at a large scale, even with the research you've done, you now cook smaller portions and see how people respond to it. From there, you can do, for those that are going to take part in this enterprise challenge, there is something, we have a simulation game for this, right? You can, it shows, so this whole thing we're saying here was actually created into a game where you can pick a business, you literally, they give you money to run the business, you start a restaurant and then you have customers. It's really surprising when you actually go to the game, you see people literally putting in money and losing, not making sales just because of this. So at that prototype stage, when we did our own simulation, we put the first week, we made sales, but we made very small sales. What the prototype helped us to do was the next week, when we wanted to make sales, we just left the previous stock that was not sold out. And then we stocked more on what people bought. So by that next week, we now had new customers coming and they bought the previous stock. So we could sell off that previous stock that we not finished the first week. And then we made more sales on the other products that people took. But if we didn't have a prototype stage, we wouldn't have known, right? We would have just wasted money and made so much, made large quantity and ended up with waste at the end of the day. So prototype helps you to avoid that. Then this test stage, This is where solutions are tested to understand the product and its users better. This test process helps you to know how the users react to the product. The results will often lead you back to the previous process to provide better insight into the original problem statement you came up with. So this is exactly what I was trying to explain. You give them the forms, you get the feedback from them to understand how did this product go. Oh, people that said, oh, this particular food had poor pepper. I don't like pepper. Okay, so now that will now lead you back to the previous stage. You now say, okay, so more people like pepper, some don't like pepper. Well, yeah, let us create two different menus of this particular thing. More pepper in one. So we can now add it to our menu and say pepper chicken, this same chicken but no pepper. So now you've literally created two products. Instead of forcing people to eat what they don't want, you have now given them options. Because from that research, from that prototype and test you just did, you just find out that 10 customers ate this chicken. 8 of them don't like pepper. 2 like pepper. Or you had 20 customers that took it. 10 of them like pepper. 10 don't like pepper. You have just retained your 20 customers because the next time they come in, they now have options. So and you put it there for them. You don't let them choose. You make it very obvious that this is pepper. This is what you took the last time. But yes, this is separate now. You can have this, you cannot have this. Like if you don't want this, you don't take it. So what design thinking helps you, it doesn't just help you get new customers and understand your customers. It helps you retain the customers that you already have. So you're not running helter scatter and making wrong decisions. So, okay. So from this entire thing now, you can just understand that from where did we start? I want to start a business. We moved to empathy, which is finding out what the customers want. And we found out, and then we went on to creating solutions that will help to gather our customers, from knowing what type of food they want to eat, to what type they don't want to eat, to solving the problem of getting the food to them on time, to solving the payment solution, to solving the time lapse that they have. We moved to solving the prototype problem, which is actually figuring out who wants to eat which of our products sell more, which of our products we need to make varieties for. We've just narrowed down a lot of things and we are going back and we keep on fixing it. So it's a continuous process. You continue to do it. A very good example of design thinking is I don't know if everybody on the call, Airbnb, right? How many people know Airbnb? Yes. So when Airbnb started, they were trying to solve, they were not getting customers. It's people renting. You can put out your house for Airbnb, people can rent it for a week and they can stay there, stuff like that. They can, instead of going to a hotel, it's a cheaper version of a hotel, right? And then you have more freedom. So when they started, they found out that they were not getting customers. And these people spend so much money trying to go from the data. They were trying to figure out from the data why they were not getting customers, why they were not getting what they were supposed to get. They've done research. So this is supposed to move. This is supposed to sell. They kept on trying from the data point and they did not know what was wrong. So the founders, what they did, it's funny because it was just a very simple problem. They just downloaded the app, went on and tried to book as customers. I know what they found out. The pictures were not nice. The angles were not nice. People, like even then, that the owners of the company, they did not like what they saw. So after spending so much money, thousands of dollars, trying to solve the problem through data, they ended up, the solution to the problem was from just logging into their app as a user, reacting to their products as users. And the two of them hired a cameraman, got to drive, like they literally went on a tour to the people that are registered. They took good pictures, edited them, better angle, better lighting, and changed pictures that they had on their app. And that was it. That was just it. So in as much as you have a business, right? It is your business. But guess what? People are paying for this business. People are the ones paying for your business. So even if the idea is in your head, it is beautiful. If I don't like it, I am not paying for it. You will not make money. So I've seen people say, I've engaged with entrepreneurs that to say, this is my product, this is how I like it. You like it, but guess what? Your customers don't like it. So you have to change it. You have to change it. You don't have to change the entire concept of the business. How about you do research and understand, okay, what does these customers like about what we're doing? And try to see how you can fit that into what you're doing. And so it's a win-win situation for everybody. The customers like it, you're making money, everything works. As a business owner, you are always open to change, right? Initially, when our company started, it didn't start this way. It started by just wanting to train. But guess what? Today, we do everything from digital training to entrepreneurship to evaluations. And we keep rebranding, we keep going further because the trend and the times are changing. So we keep doing research, design thinking to understand what is happening. The times are changing. What is working? You rebrand as you go. But if you don't have this design thinking, you just stock stuff into your shop and then nothing happens. Very recently, Lagos has announced its ban on styrofoam packs. And I was having this conversation. I'm just going to throw this out here, right? So it's just something that I want us to talk about it. I don't know, is anybody on this call doing a styrofoam business? You have styrofoam, that's what you sell. There's anybody on the call, could you just like signify, raise your hand or unmute your mic to say something? So if there is no one, that's totally fine. When I was having this conversation, I just told a colleague, I said, I would never have gone into styrofoam business, no matter how much money it's making. Why? And the person was like, why? It's making money. It's food. I said, see, that's the problem with Nigerian entrepreneurs, right? We don't know what is happening in the world. Climate change is something that is going on currently, and no matter where you are in the world. See, Nigeria might be the last to even jump on this trend, but they will eventually jump on the trend. Why did I say that? It's simple. It's climate change. The climate is going, like, things are happening. If you do research on climate change, you'll be shocked. I would advise anybody running any business right now, make sure that your business is climate friendly. Because in the near future, how many people here actually know that by 2030, the United Kingdom, United States, in fact, the top fifth world countries, they are already preparing funds that people in their country are going to access to buy electric cars. Why? Because they are trying to get rid of using petrol to run cars. Guess where all those petrol cars are going to be dumped? The ones that cannot be converted. They're coming back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They come to Africa.
Exactly. People do not know this. People do not know this. Car companies are going, Mercedes has electric cars. Everybody is having electric cars because they know what is going on. BRT in China, in Asian countries, they have their BRT buses are electrically run. Eventually, Nigeria will have to submit. This plastic problem, we are getting there, and we are doing a styrofoam business because people are buying food. Eventually, they are going to stop it. So what is going to happen to your business at that point in time? So it's not just to own a business. You have to think of the long term. Before you even own a business, do a research and find out what is happening in the world. Do a business. A friend of mine, a classmate, she studied geology, and she was heading to the field of petroleum. And then she went to the UK to do her master's in this very popular university. And guess what? Her set was the last set that they did any course on master's for petroleum engineering for. Immediately, she diverted to data analysis. That is what she's doing now. Sorry about that. That's what she's doing now. The university has stopped it. You will now get up and say, I'm going to go and study petroleum engineering. Please, if you're going to study petroleum engineering, please do your research well and know the field that you're going to master in, because the world is changing. So as a business owner, you have to think about that. You don't just do businesses because decisions are coming. It's not just Lagos State. Very soon, it's going to be the 36 states. It's going to be a world problem. There is going to be world bans on these things, and there is nothing you will do. When it becomes, now it looks like it's just Lagos, Styrofoam is going to be expensive. It's not today they wanted to start this. Other countries are already researching nylon bags that are biodegradable, and you are doing nylon business. That's what you sell. You sell plastic. What is your plan? How do you plan to integrate when these laws come in? How do you plan to change it? Do you know that when the rest of the world decides to ban the use of plastic and Nigeria is the only one, there are going to be sanctions on Nigeria, and eventually they won't have a choice. They will have to bend as well. What will happen to your business? So this is the things. As a bit, you have to think beyond, it's just my shop. You have to think long term, ahead. And this is what design thinking helps you to do. It helps you in a lot of ways. So that takes us to the next slide. Why design thinking for small businesses? Design thinking isn't just for large corporations. And this has always been the bias, right? This has always been something people have always thought about. Please, 1 second. I need to. Okay, so sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's always been this bias, right? That people say, oh, design thinking is for large companies. It's just for people that have a team. Who said no? It's for everybody, right? It's not just for large corporations. It's a powerful tool that can transform the way small businesses operate and thrive. Let's explore why incorporating design thinking into your business strategy is essential for success. So let us just go on that journey now. So first, so understanding your customer. Sorry, I have a lot of things on my screen. Okay, understanding your customers. So in the competitive landscape of small businesses, knowing your customers intimately is a game changer. Design thinking places a strong emphasis on empathy, understanding your customers' needs and aspirations, which is what we found out from the example I gave of owning a food business in a corporate setting, right? You now know that these people don't want to eat a certain type of food. You already know that they don't want to spend so much time paying. They don't want to spend so much. They have a short film of just 1 hour, right? So they can just eat in that short time period and then get back to work. So you know that they want to order, come down, eat, or they need somebody to bring the food over to them. So you already have that. That is an advantage for you. Another person that has a second shop by your side, he doesn't know that. That person will be wondering, and we do it a lot in Africa, like, what is this person? This is not the same food that we are selling that this person is selling. My own food is even sweeter than this person. You don't know what the person is doing better than you. The person has in-depth understanding of the customers. So even if the person's food is nicer, even if your own food is nicer than that person's food, you are putting up swallow. They don't want to eat swallow. They won't come to your shop now. They will go where they can eat what they did at they can comfortably eat something that won't upset their stomach. They won't be tired. They will have the energy to work. When they have a meeting, they can call. The person can bring the food up to them. They can pay with ease. They don't have to stand on a long queue. But your own shop, when they come, 30 minutes, 40 minutes are there. I have just 1 hour for lunch break, and I'm wasting 40 minutes just to pay and order food. Why would I come back? But the other person that has done this already knows that that person has a competitive advantage over you. Okay? So that person obviously is going to be selling more. So by adopting a customer-centric approach, you can create products and services that resonate deeply with your target audience. Exactly what we just said. So when you have that, you have an advantage that person doesn't have. You have leverage that person doesn't have. So you're already beating the second person at their game. It's not witchcraft. They did not bury anything in front of your shop. You're not doing the proper kind of research. You're not doing the necessary, because you're just entering business like every normal person that owns shop. It doesn't work that way. So innovative product development, small business often face resource constraints, making traditional product development process challenging. Design thinking encourages an iterative and collaborative approach. So exactly like I just said. So instead of cooking for 100 people, you started with, let us do for 20 and see the outcome. So you did for 20, you saw the outcome. So now you already know that we have customer here, and this is what the customer wants, and this is their preferences. So you are not wasting money and producing what someone doesn't like. So imagine, just put it this way. Imagine that you are in your house. I just I want to drink juice. I want this juice to taste. I want it to have just orange. I just want to have freshly squeezed orange juice. And then you leave your house and you just go to buy, you just go to a shop. You go there, you just bought this juice, and then you open it, you drink it, and it's exactly what you just want. Like, how refreshing is that? That what you want is what you just got. It's not what I ordered versus what I got. Literally what I ordered. That feeling is something. Honestly, I know for a fact that when I approach vendors, right, and they give me exactly what I need. By the time the next time I'm doing that work, that's the person in my head. Even if there are 50 other people and those people have cheaper products, I am not looking at the options. Why? Because I already know that this person will give me exactly what I want. So even if the person is putting money, I am ready to cover the cost because I know I'm not going to get disappointed. I'm getting exactly what I want. So that is something, competitive advantage. And for that person, the person is not wasting money because the person is doing exactly what he needs to deliver at that point in time. Right? So these are also things that you have to put in mind when it comes to design thinking. This is the advantages it helps you. So you're not wasting money to cook for a lot of people that will not come and eat it. You are cooking the exact quantity that each person needs. You already know it's 20 customers that are going for this particular thing. So even if you cook 25, at least if at the end of the day, 5 people don't buy, that is just the waste. Imagine 5 people not buying and 50 people not buying. That's a lot of margin. So you're going to incur less loss, and you're going to get more results, right? You know that whatever you're producing is something that these people actually want. You're not second guessing yourself. You're not saying, I'll put this product, somebody will buy. No, you know that somebody is going to buy, like you know they are going to buy. So you're giving them exactly what they want, right? So the rapid, exactly, it allows you to refine your product based on real user feedback, reducing the risk of investing time and resources in ideas that might not resonate with your market. So you produce exactly what your people need, the exact what they want. That's what you give them. So adaptability in changing markets. Like I said, the business market is always changing. It's always changing. So don't say it's provision store that I want to have. It must be provision store. Your customers that are coming to buy, they are looking for other things. You have to think, what can I add? How can I change this business? That's why you notice that most of the business that started, they started with one product, but now they have 4, 5 different products. That's because the market is changing. So they are changing to suit the market. So you have to always bring that in. Bring in that factor. The market is changing. As it's changing, your design thinking process is continuous. So you're changing with the market. You're changing with them. You're not stuck in that one place. So by open to change and constantly refining your product and services based on customers' feedback and research on your position, your business, you position your business to respond effectively to market shifts. Like I said, we initially started with training, but now we're doing entrepreneurship. Now we're doing evaluation. Why? Because this year, entrepreneurship is something that is going on. Market evaluation is something that is going on. We are making money from this aspect because that is what is happening in the market right now. And that's why I mentioned that I don't know, okay, it was not with this particular program, it was the programs I took sales with. I told them, you have to look for how to use AI in your business. Grants that are out this year and grants that are coming up. People that applied for theft previous years, we got feedback. People said that they were looking at businesses that could show that they were using technology and online. These people got funds more than people that were just operating traditional store. Do you know that using AI for your business is so easy? People don't know that. I have a shop. I sell baby clothes. Okay. Now they're asking you want to apply for theft. You don't write that you have a shop and you're selling baby clothes. No, now. You have to make it look like you're running an e-commerce settings. You're not lying. You put your businesses online. People order and then you deliver stuff to them. You don't just write that you have a shop. You have to bring it in. You have to incorporate the fact that you use the online platforms. Your business is online. You have to use that. You have to link that into your proposals because everybody wants to see that somebody is leveraging the internet. People are on the internet. People are online 24/7. So if you keep that your idea, your business is just your shop is just there, it's customers that are working, they'll just say, they'll pass you by. You are not serious. The people that know how to put the story, they are the ones that will be making money, and you'll be there. That's how it works, right? So that leads us to the next one, problem solving and innovation. The small business often encounter unique challenges that require creative solutions. Design thinking equips you with a problem solving mindset, encouraging out of the box thinking. This is what I just said from the start. When I said you asked your customers, you did a research with them, and you found out that they do not eat swallow. So that has opened up for you to think of other different menus that you can put. that has opened you to think of the fact that, oh, time constraint is something. Let me get someone that will go to deliver things for them. Let me incorporate a pre-order service where they can order ahead. And then when they can still come, there is a reserved seat for them. That gets you to think you have created a solution that is innovative. You have created another solution. Maybe you want to dedicate a particular POS to them. That will be, they will just come and they'll just pay directly. You have created a solution. And you can also think of the fact that they can subscribe monthly. They can subscribe a certain amount. So when they come, they just eat. All you just do is just extract it. You just, as they take their receipt, you subtract it from that, their payment they've made for the month. They subscribed. You've incorporated that system into it. So that is innovation. That is not costing you so much money. It's not even costing you money. But you have been able to, in fact, if someone even hears that your business is doing all that, the person will be like, wow, wait, you be this small restaurant, you're doing this. But this is how it works. This is what the bigger companies are doing, that the bigger businesses are doing, that is getting them more money. You have to think outside the box, and just a thing can help you achieve all of this. So the iterative nature of design thinking allows you to experiment with different solutions, fostering a culture of innovation in your business. Exactly what I just said. So you added pepper to the food, and you understood that, oh, you have 20 customers. So when you ask for feedback, 10 people said they don't like pepper. The other 10 people said they like pepper. Now you have a solution. You split the product into two. You have two different options for them. So those that want pepper, and you put it out there, very obvious. Those that want pepper come and like, okay, I want pepper, they're taking it. Those that don't want, they order that. So you did not just limit them, but you have created new unique products that you would not have thought of. But because of the response and the feedback you got from them, you've been able to create this solution. So that is something, like I said, competitive edge. Differentiation is key for small businesses competing in a crowded market. Design thinking provides you a framework for creating unique, compelling offerings, which is what I said. It doesn't matter if you cook better than the other person. What that other person is providing, you're not providing. That person is giving them exactly what they want. You are just assuming on your own end. And then they will come to your place and they will stay there for 2 hours when they have just 1 hour to eat. End of the day, they will go back either not buying food or getting query for starting on the job. They won't come back to your shop the next time. They will go there. So Nigerians, instead of them to think of what they are doing wrong, they'll start praying, fasting, and binding whatever they have dig in front of their shop. Most times the problem is not spiritual. You're just not thinking outside the box. You're just not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Some of our businesses, the problems we're encountering is something that is so easy, it's so small, doesn't even need money to fix. It just needs restructuring and changing the pattern of operation, right? Then it gives you, by consistently delivering products and services that stand out, you can serve a niche for your business, attracting and retaining customers in a competitive market. Exactly what I said. With this one, you are not just attracting new customers, you are retaining who you have. Like I said, if I use a vendor and they give me exactly what I want, next time I need services, I am not. So there is this, let me give this example. There is this lady that we work with. She used to deliver chairs with us. If you pay early, she will not deliver the chairs on time. If you pay late, it's still the same. In fact, it's even worse. She will still come. She will still bring broken chairs, dirty tables, dirty tablecloths. Terrible service. So we went out looking. We got someone that is collecting money. They deliver on time. They deliver clean clothes. In fact, those people even have the option that they will tell you that you have to pay a certain amount for them. Like they will owe that one first, right? So it's like a caution fee. That's refundable at the end of the day. Guess what? We are giving them that caution fee to be refunded. Why? Because we know that when people, when they deliver their chairs and they deliver their stuff, we are not going to be worried about terrible looking products, terrible looking chairs. We are not going to fight him. The things will be here on time. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So we are ready to cover the cost of paying, but just because we know that these people will deliver. That other woman now, she's just doing business anyhow. She doesn't know why we're not going to patronize her again. But this is just a simple thing. Her approach is terrible. She's offering terrible customer services. And she would tell, in fact, as far as she's concerned, and this is something I want to say, I've noticed it with Lagos businesses, right? I've noticed it with Lagos business people. It's a very nonchalant attitude and it's bad. They'll tell you, if you don't want to buy, somebody else will come and buy. Yes, we might be offering you small, small, small. But guess what? You have lost us. And you didn't just lose us. When somebody wants to do something, I'm supposed to send my vendor to that person, but I will not send that person. She'll say, if you don't want to come, another customer will come. What's that word they say? A bird in hand is better than nine in the bush. Have you died on the tree? Point is, you've already lost someone that is going to give you more businesses. People tend to, do you know it's easier? And this is what I heard your marketing facilitator teach you this, that is easier for you to resell to a customer you already have than to a new one. Keep the one you already have while you are chasing that new one. You can't even offer good products. Imagine you're offering terrible services to me. You are still going to offer terrible service to the next new people coming in. And that's just a simple thing because it's a character problem, it's a flaw problem, it's a culture problem with that particular vendor, right? So this is something, if you do design thinking, you think, it's the same thing you are selling that other person is selling, but that person is selling more than you. Is what you're not doing, that person is doing. I'm not saying go do illegal things, but the services you're providing, how you're providing your services, the offerings you're giving to your people, you're not limiting people. That's something that person has above you. You will still greet her in the morning. What are you doing? Even if you ask her, funny enough, she might not even know. And that's the thing, right? I'm not trying to say she's not trying to reveal her secret to you. But in her mind, she doesn't know she doesn't even know what she's doing that you're not doing. So when you ask her, she'll just subconsciously reply to you that, it's God, oh, but she doesn't know that it's all this work she did that you did not do. And that's why she's selling more than you, right? So when you ask her, she'll just tell you the same thing. And then you're on the side, you're thinking she's a bad person. She doesn't want to help your business. But she doesn't know. See, that's how businesses work. Fine, although some people would never reveal the secrets. It's their secret, their trade secret. You don't have to reveal it. So cost-effective solutions. Design thinking doesn't always require significant financial investment. It emphasizes the importance of quick, low-cost prototyping and testing, allowing small businesses to innovate without breaking the bank. Very important. Instead of you cooking for 100 people that will not come and eat the food, you have brought out your test, you made for 20 people, and you sold the 20, you now know that this is something that you can put money into. So instead of just going once, so even if you have a leftover of 5, it's still better than having a leftover of 50 or having a leftover of 60. You just saved yourself money, time, and energy. And you did one of the most important things, you got feedback, which is very important. Then this approach is that even businesses with limited resources can implement design thinking principles effectively. Exactly. You don't have to break, like when I brought up the simulation of this business, right? Of having this business, if we incorporate all the things that I've actually just said, did we actually spend, if you think about it, calculate it on your own, you just realize that you didn't even need to add money to the business. You just re-strategize and reuse what you already have properly. And this is what I always say to people, right? Most people think that money is what their business needs. No, a business doesn't always need money. And this is something everybody needs to understand. Sometimes the solution, most of the time, the solution to the business, to the problem you're facing is not money, right? It's it's your delivery approach. It's how you are delivering the business. That is the problem. That is what you need to change. So you just need to restructure. So this is something that a lot of people do not know. A lot of businesses do not know. And they are suffering because of it. So that will lead us to the next phase. So design thinking is not just a methodology, it's a mindset that can change the way small businesses operate by putting the customer at the center of your business strategy, fostering innovation, and embracing adaptability. You set the foundation for sustained growth and success. So design thinking empowers businesses to turn changes into opportunities and create lasting value to both customers and the businesses itself, right? So I really hope that with everything that we've had today, we can incorporate these changes into our businesses and get changes. So if you have any questions, this is the point that you can ask. Yes, Nkisha, I can see your hand.
I don't have a question actually. I just want to say thank you very much for the teaching. One of
You're
the things
welcome.
my school were giving, hey, my battery is almost going off, was when you were talking about the restaurant thing, being able to receive feedback and then streamlining your feedback based the business based on the feedback that you've received. Recently, I noticed that most of my customers, though initially before I started, I did a research, I did survey, there were survey forms that they filled. But recently, I started noticing that the patronage was declining. I didn't know what to do, but from what you just said, from all you've explained today, so I think what I would do is to try and resend a survey form to see what the problem is. If there's something I can improve on so that I'll start getting the patronage that I was getting before. I really enjoyed the class. Thank you very much. And you also used your time very well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's that's what we're here to do. Try to help as much as we can. Okay, anybody has another question? Yes, Laura.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Ma, for the the reflection and everything. It was such a wonderful class. I have a question. Like you mentioned, you said we should try to do business in the long run, not like immediate benefits. And I
Yes.
see like the styrofoams now that have been banned in Lagos, and people that are doing that are into that business now, that they just lose their business like that. So but how can we, because it's not as if we can exactly predict all these things. I don't think 10 years ago here in Nigeria we're talking anything about climate change, but recently we started having those conversations. So how can me as a person protect, or how can I dictate or predict that, oh, this business I'm in, within the next 10 years or 7 years, it may likely, be under pressure or something like that, or it may not be favorable to the environment. So how do we predict those kind of things? That's my question.
That's a very good question. So I think there is a soft skill that was supposed to teach. I think I couldn't really work around that. But I would see if it's something that would be possible to be done, right? Because it's very necessary. Because I've understood that there is just a gap of the knowledge with the Nigerian market, and it's a big problem. Honestly, it's not just you. Even myself, I was not aware of a lot of things the last 3 years. But when I got thrown into the job I do now, it opened me to a lot of things. And if there is one thing I could always tell people, don't just use your data to be on Instagram. In fact, if there is one platform I will advise anybody to be on, it's LinkedIn. There is hardly anything that is going on in the world that is not on LinkedIn. I'm telling you. The latest innovations, everything, how the trajectory that the world is going to, all of that, it's on LinkedIn. It's on LinkedIn. You don't even need to be posting anything, although you post it, it's very important. But I have been using my LinkedIn page for a very long time. I've not used it as regards my job actually, but I've been using it for my job. Why? And from LinkedIn, the suggestions I see, people that I follow, connections, posts that come up that I just click on and I just read. I get everything about space travel, about climate change, about sustainable businesses, about World Cup, about the wars going on. Everything that is going on is there. It's how I knew about cars, countries going into electric cars. So it's very important to be there. Yes, this thing might not just click on your mind to just research you, but when you are on platforms like that, you can just see a post. As you're just scrolling past, just see a post. Just look at it. That will now prompt you to go and do research and actually understand about it. Sustainability is something that any business that is not operating in is in problem. Why? You see, this climate change is a very serious topic. In fact, it's affecting how a lot of things are going. A lot of things. It's affecting how things are going. Right? It is very, very important. I would advise everybody on this call, go and do research as much as you can about SDG goals, and you understand all the key areas. You will now know what part of your business, or if the business you're actually working on right now is something that is aligning with those goals. Because if it is not aligning with those goals, very soon it is going to change. If people that are doing stuff in climate change right now, it may be slow, but guess what? In the next 5 to 6, 10 years, they will be the people making serious money because they would have secured the market for themselves before others decide to change. Right? So I would just advise everybody, don't focus on what is happening in Nigeria alone. Don't focus on what's happening in Nigeria. In fact, if you do your research properly, when I teach on sales, I always tell people that yes, there is attendance. I'm going to post that on the group. Sorry, I'm the one hosting and also teaching. It's why it's like that. So sorry about that. So why when I take sales, right? When I'm the one teaching sales, I usually tell people it's very important that you research from around the world. I always advise people, see this app, Pinterest, take that app. Have that app on your phone or on your device, or go on that app as much as you can. Take ideas from different parts of the world and incorporate it into your business in your own locality. So don't just follow the rules happening here in Nigeria. Why? It's very important. Climate change is something that is affecting the world globally. Eventually, Nigeria will have to bend, right? So if you stick with what is just going on with Nigeria, you'll be left out. Now, climate change has forced it's forcing Nigeria to make decisions, and they are going to make more decisions coming forward. I know people are already saying that this law will not hold, but it may not hold now, it may not hold next year, but eventually we'll be forced to, especially at the fact that we do not produce what we use more. We are more on importation, right? So it's very, very important. Just do research, read, just use LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn will really help you streamline how you research, because there are a lot of things that you will not think about on your own, but it's what I do. When I go on LinkedIn and I'm going through profiles, just going through my home page, new suggestions comes in. They'll just be like, oh, this is here, this SDG is doing this, Copper is doing this. I take that, I read about it, I research about it. It's very important. I think everybody read about sustainability as much as you can. It is the one thing that will save your business in the coming years. And if you want to secure a good place for your market, except you just want to leave your business where it is, right, to just feed the house. But if you want it to progress more than that, you need to do research on what is happening in the world. You need to know what is happening in the world. People can tell you are reading news. Yes, read news. It's very important. That will help you. It's the edge people have over you, right? So that's what I'll just advise you. Use LinkedIn as much as you can. You don't need to post. Don't worry. Just follow connections. Follow connections. If follow, they will give you suggestions about SDGs, climate change. You can just even search climate change. Follow that. Follow people on that climate change. You will keep getting feeds. When they keep posting things, you keep seeing it. You don't need to be posting there yourself, even if you don't want to post there. If you don't want to use, just have the account. So what that helps you do, it helps you get updated and you get access to grants, you get information, you will know things, a lot of things. A lot is happening in the space of grants this year. That's just what I can tell you. But you need to prepare your business for it, right? So please just use LinkedIn and do research as much as you can. Yes. So the next question, I can see someone's hand is up already. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, ma, it does. Thank you very much, ma, for the response.
Okay. Yes, there is another Nifemi. I think Laura, I answered your question, right?
Yeah, it's Laura.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, the
good
next
morning.
person.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yeah, the question I want to ask is that businesses of today is going on the online space. So
Yes.
how can those people that are doing physical business that don't really know much about online, especially due to scammers and all those things. So how do we do it in this in this era that we are? Because looking at it now, it's very possible that we go online and traditional physical business is just at the low level.
Okay. Like, good question. Good question. So like I said, right, I'll just advise everybody, go put your business online. It's very, very important. You can start by creating your pages for your businesses, right? That's the easiest way to start. That's why we teach digital marketing the way we teach it. Get your business online. Get it online. Get an account separate from your personal account. Set up your business online. Have that space where you continue to create content. So using AI for business, that is a topic that I really want us to have a masterclass on. But the facilitator is just having a bit of a constraint. So first of all, Nifemi, let me just ask, what type of business do you do?
I'm aspiring to venture into business now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. So I would first say make sure that your business, you have a page for it. Set up your page. See, when you're going to write hotel, if I reach your mic, I think your speaker is kind of disturbing. Okay, yes. So When you have a page set up, do you know that you have a baby shop, you have a shop where you sell baby things, you want to write for grants, they want to see how you're incorporating stuffs into it. So you you cannot create it that I'm looking for a way this facilitator put it. So you take pictures of your stuffs and you put them online and then you sell stuff. Now, like what Jumia is doing, you can always register your business on these platforms, right? And use them as well. So you don't even need to create the e-platform by yourself. They can create it for you. So they have the customers, you are the seller. In fact, by just registering your business on Jumia, you're already there. You're there. You're already using an e-commerce platform. Registering on Gigi, you're using an e-commerce platform. Yes, you can do that, or you can decide to start your own. You can even build your own online space by yourself and then you use that. And these other guys are just additions to help. But no matter what you do, please and please leverage the internet. People are so busy. I can tell you for a fact that I work 9 to 5. When I get home sometimes 9 p.m. after 9. Sometimes I'm working Sundays to Sundays. So tell me, what time am I going to use to go to the market to go and buy clothes? Say if somebody on my status posts one clothes or bag or shoe, I will buy because I know that I have to go somewhere and I don't have time and I have to wear this dress. I have to wear a new dress, right? So that's what is available to me. I will buy. So first of all, it gives you a serious advantage. And I'm telling you, this is something that is happening to me. And I know that it's happening to me, it's happening to a lot of people. I have not gone to the market to buy, what am I saying? I've not even gone to shop for clothes. I can't even remember when last I walked into a shop that they actually sell clothes. I can't remember. I did not do it last year. I don't think I did it the previous year. When I was with my siblings, they used to do the buying. Now I just see someone post something. I can just even call someone that sells. I'm like, this, I need this. Get me options. When they are there, they take pictures and they send me, and I pay because I already know my size. They already have that details. So there are people like me. There are people that are even worse than me. Trust me. They shop everything online, even down to people go to the market and buy stocks for them. My company runs that service. They shop for you. I don't know if you understand. That's how powerful the online space is. So if you want to start. Build that page. It's very important. As long as you have a page dedicated for your business, you have already gone online. Not a page that you don't used to post something, that used to post something once in every 4 or 5 months, right? A dedicated page that is actively posting stuffs and getting people, an active page. Very, very important. So as long as you have that, you don't need to create an entire e-commerce platform. Just start from having your Facebook page, Instagram page, being there, very active there. I know they said TikTok is part of it, so I don't really know how effective that is. But I know people sell on TikTok. But yeah, I'm not on TikTok, so if you want to be my vendor, you either have to be on WhatsApp or probably Instagram. So that's it. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I'm
Well
just trying.
understood. Well understood. Very interesting. Well understood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Like I said, there is something that I always say, right? And I know I didn't take your sales class, so I didn't get to share this. So setting targets and goals for your business is very, very important. It's I cannot even emphasize that. I just want to ask, how many people actually set a goal for themselves for the first quarter of this year? Like from January to March, this is the amount of money my business is going to make. How many people did that?
I did.
Okay. So this is very important. Oh, you were in a power of, have you gotten half of the money? Can you hear me? Oh, is she still on the call?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes. I said, have you gotten half of the money?
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
You gotten half of it.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So what did you do? What did you notice when you set that target?
Okay, so what I did was that I wrote down, I wrote down the number of percent or the number of sales volume I need to get to be able to achieve that target. So what I now did next was I identified, okay, that this is the amount, this is the particular amount I must make, and then a day. So I set it down by daily. So what I now did was to identify people who are consistent customers, people who have been buying from us, because I discovered that it's more easier to sell to old customers than
Consumers.
new ones. So whilst we are still pushing for new customers, we are also still, so we decided to, milk out. I looked at how can we milk out, sales consistently from our existing customers, and then we focus on them. So that's how we've got.
You see, if you didn't do that, do you know that you would not have been like that pressure wouldn't have been on you to actually think of something.
Yeah, sure.
You'd have literally just done business for the first quarter of the year, just like that. And nothing, and it will still remain the same. So this is something that is very, very, very important, right? For
Yeah.
everybody. Set a target for your business. Why? When you make a certain amount, when you set a target for yourself and say, before the end of this first quarter, we're going to make 500,000. If by January has gone, February has started, you've not made 100K, that will start, you go and look at, something is going on. Why haven't we made this money? The idea is not that, that you must beat that target. But what that does for you is to give you this thing, like this thing is always going to be a reminder in your mind that there was a target to achieve this much. Why haven't we achieved it? What options have we not explored? What do we need to change? What is the process? Is there something wrong with how we are selling? Is there something wrong with how we are delivering the service? Like it just puts you on that spot. So it's not like you were sleeping before, right? But because it was not defined, you didn't actually know. But when those targets are there, they help you to push forward. So I know running a business is not easy, right? It's not easy. And there are places like you face a lot of failures and stuff like that, but you have to tell yourself the truth. See, don't yourself that say, oh, the reason my business is not making money is because I did not come from money. No, don't ever let that negative part come to you. The only edge that person that has more money has over you is that they had money to put into the business that you didn't have. So what you are going to do for yourself is to make up for what you don't have for money, which is good services that you can provide, which is running design thinking for your business, empathizing, understanding your customers, and using that feedback you got from them to create options, create solutions that will better push your business to make more money, right? With this, you can actually achieve something that is better. And I know for a fact, if everybody on this call actually puts design thinking into practice, I'm not trying to just say this is not prophecy or anything, but in all honesty, by December, your business cannot be the same. You will know the things you need to change. You will know if that business is something that you should continue with or you need to change. Because it's wasting time. Like, there is something our consultants always say, if you've already spent 1 year, 2 year, 1 year, 2 years on that business, is not making money, you are not seeing any change, you're not even seeing that there is a direction, but there is no point being there. It's either you are not cut out for it, or you're not doing the right thing. So it's not like you're not a serious person, right? But there are things that you should probably be doing that you're not doing. So you need to do research, and you need to understand when you need to let go. And very importantly, your research should not be based on what you want, but based on your customers. Whatever research you're doing should be based on them, because they are the ones paying for your services, right? So it's very, very important that you do that. So thank you all so much for honoring this invitation and coming for this class. I was actually planning for a session. We're supposed to have a session on using AI for small businesses. I would see how possible that will be. Still having this back and forth with facilitators, but yes, I will see how possible that will be. If that session can be done even after this program, I would definitely let you guys know on the group. Right? Okay, so I'm putting up the attendance link right now so that you guys can feel it. I can see that. Thank you. I'm so glad you actually enjoyed the session.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.